though I'm going to have pictures of the, I just love the scale of this. It's just unbelievable. And I was curious now, we're exactly 11, as Jennifer O'Hara said yesterday, 31st of October, 11 years ago, down at the Forester Hall was the beginnings of this. I don't know whether you were there or when you became involved with this.
Well, I've been involved with it, the committee was set up around that time, but the actual site itself really started to kick off in a serious way around 2003, 2004, and I've been involved like since then.
Right.
Basically what happened was I became a county councillor in 2004. The piece of ground had been basically sterilised previously, which meant that it just kept as a green space. The people who owned the land were not aware of that whatsoever. So one of the first things I had to do was to get in and sort that out. So it took a few years. We sorted all that out. The committee, basically the KAPS committee is made up of about 7 or 8, 9 people.
Right.
Jennifer O'Hara is the chair, and then you have Sarah Donnelly, myself, Aileen Quaid, Gemma Darby, Jill Finnerty, Nicola Dalvin, Claudine Ryan, and Marina Murray. So that group has been the whole thing, I suppose, like everything, it's been talked about and worked on for 11 years, but the real work all started about 3 years ago, when it suddenly started to become a reality.
Right.
And when so my role with the committee was to, I suppose, I had to act the Henry Kissinger, Colin Powell role.
Right.
Jennifer and the rest of the group all were into how it looked and what it was going to be and the fundraising and everything else. So I helped in the way I can. But the key role I had to play in it was to keep everyone on side.
And we all know there's quite a few Nixons down in Wicklow County Council, so that was a tough job.
we won't.
There might be a Kennedy buried in there somewhere.
I have to say, Michael Nicholson, the director of Wicklow County Council, and Jackie Carroll and Therese O'Brien have been absolutely fantastic, really have. And they have been very proactive with the group. They've sat down with us. It's all been hands-on. It's all been kind of, this is what we're doing, what do you think? They've taken on board comments as well from the group. So I'd have to say they've been really, really very, very supportive.
Now you put up your phone number and email. We'll include it here in the piece, just to let people who have any kind of questions come to you, because you'd be very, very familiar with all the various different aspects. You've had a few questions. I think you mentioned the hedge might be one. Oh, we got a phone call. We'll wait there now. This is very important.
Live television.
There you go. But you were saying that the one or two concerns. I know that when I looked online, people were sort of talking about where the entrance would be, and also the hedge.
No, people were concerned. Obviously, it's not some people. In fact, there's been massive amount of postings and various things on the various local forums. 98-99% of it is all people saying yippee, fantastic, when are we going to have it? Yeah. Obviously there's been some concerns. One concern was the hedge and lovely hedging that surrounds part of the site. That's not going to be touched. Right. And then the other part of it then is the entrance, and the entrance will eventually be when you come in off the Sea Road into Wellfield. Again, people are concerned about that. There's no need for concern, because that will be managed in a proper way. Obviously the KAPS group, who have worked their butts off on all this and been interested in all that, no one's going to allow this particular project to cause problems to anybody, and it won't cause problems to anybody. Now, I would ask people to accept that and believe that, and just make sure that we get it there. I mean, the project should be finished. It should be finished in about 4 or 5 weeks. Now, life being what it is, sometimes it can go on a bit.
So you say the project, like the actual building of it?
Oh yeah, all of the equipment is all done, is all ordered.
I had in my head to be like a few months as
the contractor is all set up.
Oh, fantastic!
So really, all that has to happen now is he just has to move onto site, physically put the thing in place, and.
That's a pretty wild Christmas then, isn't it?
It's a good nice for Kilcoole. Well, Kilcoole's a fantastic place, Paul, and this is a vital piece of infrastructure. It's been way overdue, and it'd be a nice Santa present for the community, really.
Well, you think of the population here, and you know that there's a huge amount of great people in the town, and they would all have the similar kind of drive to want the community to be a better place. And for something like this to be suggested was always wise, but to follow it through and to come up with just this wonderful looking playground, which would probably be the envy of quite a stretch of Wicklow, because it is spectacular. And as you said before we rolled the camera, you just sort of mentioned the fact that it's not just for toddlers, which is often the idea of a playground. It's just going to be for little kids. Yeah. This is equipped really to help teenagers. Everybody's going to have somewhere to go and somewhere to
But as you can see, yeah, you're right. Yeah. The pictures actually are showing it up. Fantastic. Sure. And it covers all the age groups. You mentioned the population. The population in Kilcoole now is about 4,000. Right. And Kilcoole has grown over the years from a sleepy village from 1,000 people, maybe less even, to about 3,000 people. And slowly but surely we're getting the infrastructure. We have a fantastic community centre here now. I'll show you around it before you go. And the playground is another piece of that infrastructure. And that's all good for the community. That project will bring a lot of the community together, and it's good long term for Kilcoole.
I know the fundraising has always been a big part of it. And is there a need now for more fundraising, or are we pretty much at the closing stage?
It's pretty much done and dusted. Right. Jennifer and the group over the years had been fundraising. Then when it seemed that it wasn't going to happen at one stage, that kind of stopped. But the local authority now, through the playground funding system, they've provided the funding for this. I mean, you're talking, this project is probably a €200,000 project.
Right.
And I'm delighted, because this is going to be one of the best playgrounds in Wicklow, if not the best. So I'm all for that where Kilcoole's concerned. Let's get the best.
Well, big congratulations to all those involved in KAPS. They've done an incredible work. The name, Little Terns.
Yeah, that's
what that was actually.
Jennifer and the rest of the gang came up with that name.
Right.
Which is fantastic. And Little Terns, the birds we have down on the coast, and with the funding, one of the things that the committee is considering is that with the bit of funding they have, maybe to do something extra with the entrance, for example, to give it a little bit of
reference to
and make it a bit better. And the council are very cooperative on that. Michael said to them here in a meeting there a number of weeks ago that he didn't have any problem with that. He thought it was a great idea. So again, Paul, I suppose the bottom line of this is it's so positive and so good for the community, and it's been a long time coming. But it's like anything in life, this would be very well worth waiting for.
And Greystone's kids are allowed in as well, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We're very inclusive in this area.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, but Kilcoole is very important, and in my books, it's the capital of Wicklow. But, we're very inclusive, so we won't close the doors to anybody.
Well, we'll swing down and get some photographs of the land itself. It'll be fascinating to see the transformation. 4 or 5 weeks, as you say, we'll be back to obviously record the grand opening. But well done to everybody. But
I must say now, I want to compliment Jennifer and all the gang, Sarah, Claudine, the whole lot of them, Nicola, they've been great, and it's been gas here at a meeting, how enthusiastic they are, and they've all got ideas, and they've all got this, they all had ideas what I should like, and to be fair, when they actually seen what Michael Nicholson and his team in the council produced, they were absolutely delighted. Really were, absolutely delighted, because it's a fantastic looking project.
Well, there's a sign, I'll finish with this, it's a sign of a great community when people who are involved, really, really kind of dedicated to getting something like this off the ground. But it's not directly going to affect them, it's really for others, and it's for the next generation and the generation after. You're talking about they know other people's kids and other people's teenagers.
If you take just one example, take Jennifer O'Hara. Yeah. Her kids now are basically gone beyond this.
Yes, but exactly. So she's doing this for other people.
But she's a good community person, and she's still very enthusiastic, and she drives it along, and we all help her as best we can to make sure it all happens.
Oh, there you go. That's a sign of a gorgeous community. Rock and roll. We'll head down and we'll get some shots of the place, but that is just perfect.